Hi everyone, this is Kelly from The Truth in Story, and I wanted to really quickly, and I know I say that a lot, and I'm actually not really quickly, but I do mean it in this case because I've already done videos about this. So if you've already seen from the title of the video that we are talking about the wonderful Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle, which is in my mind, amazingly embrace the magical kind of deck. They recently came out with so the way that this deck came about, there was a central deck that was released, and then there was an expansion that was released, and then there were a couple two single cards, a shovel and a harp. And so you didn't end up with obviously a box, or the way the backings work. Here's the old version. They made different things. So the expansion made a Ouija board. Other cards came together to make a sort of a mosaic image. And so I need to. This is the latest one is a harp, and I haven't edged this one in black. And so you have a variety of backings, because some are from the expansion, some are from the original, and some are from the extra cards, which are just sort of this backing like this, which is adorable. I do love this backing. So it was an event, right? It was an ongoing event. Some people loved it. Some people complained about the way it was pieced out. But in the end, I am a huge proponent. So you got little things like here at Gravedigger Society, this came with a shovel, which is so awesome. You got little sealed envelopes with maps, and it just, to me, the marketing and the story that was built behind the Mildred Payne Secret Oracle was what makes it so amazing. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant of Patrick Valenza, the way that it all played out. And I'm a huge fan of this deck, even though, as you watch this channel know, I'm really not a big fan. I am a fan of his Deviant Moon, but I'm not a user or owner of it. It's not a deck that I would work with. It just doesn't resonate with me. But I'm appreciative of it as well. So recently he came out with, I don't even know what this would be called, if it's a second edition. So these things all together would have been kind of the parts of the first edition, and he came out with a second edition which has all of the cards in one deck, in one box that fits all of the cards, and all with the same backing. So look at that gorgeous backing. I was so excited when I saw this, because this is a deck, if you watch my other videos, which I'll put a link to below, I believe is an actually extremely balanced and well-reading deck. I think that some of the primary assumptions about this deck is that it is a darker deck, but it actually isn't. It's very well balanced, and if anything, it leans maybe slightly towards the positive. Again, please, if you're interested in wondering about that, I'm not going to repeat all that. The links will be below. So this, to me, is an extremely usable deck that doesn't need to just be used in October, although it is, of course, perfection for using in October. And so I was really excited to see a deck with just this beautiful, it reminds me, not that they're identical, but it reminds me of the maybe Lenormand backing, just with that eye, and it just looks amazing. I've already, of course, blacked the edges, because, in fact, I need to fix it a little bit. You can see where I've missed a couple spots. But I have blacked the edges because that, in my opinion, is a must for this deck in whatever form you might get it in. And it also, so this time around, it came with a couple extra cards with always the creepy picture of Mildred Payne and some letters, you know, this just little paraphernalia that it's known for. It also came with, you know, all of the keywords onto one piece of paper versus being split up amongst multiple formats. Now this is very plain. The other one did have some imagery and things of that on it, but this fits, at least on one piece of paper, all of the cards and the keywords. So it came with that. So I ended up picking this up even though I have this because I just love this backing, and I do like the concept of having a straight backing, not having a Ouija board or just random things on here. I think this makes it, for me, very, very usable with clients. And I mean, not that this isn't, but this is just in my own head. I really liked the concept of having these to be all the same backing and all fitting in a box and set to go. The other reason is that I know my friend Bart definitely was interested in this deck, and so I thought, I'm going to go ahead and get this because I can pass this along to Mr. Bart, and you know, we'll both be happy. So that kind of did lean me towards, now obviously collector, somebody who just loves Patrick Valenza stuff and are going to collect it, you know, they might want this just in terms of that checking the checkbox. You know, we all have, some of us for different things need those check boxes filled, and so having all of them, like I think I suggested that or said that to Miss Bobby, and she was like, I'm not getting rid of my first edition if I get the second edition, don't even. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, we were just joking, but that, yeah, some people that's not the concept, but I don't personally need both of them, and I'm perfectly fine to pass this one on and have this one as a beautiful working deck for myself. So I just wanted to, there were some questions on Instagram about the differences, and so I wanted to make a quick video that just, this cardstock is absolutely the same, the size is absolutely the same. The only difference is that all of the decks, because if you didn't get an expansion, you might have the first thing but you don't have the expansion, or you didn't get the extra card. So all of the cards, all 69 cards come with the deck. They all have a same backing, this same backing, instead of the variations of 3 basically different backings, but more than that because each one is different other than, let's see, I don't know if the, this is the harp, here's the shovel. The shovel is different, the harp, these were the 2 single extra cards. And then you had the expansion pack, which would be a variety of things that came together to make the Ouija board. And then the main deck is sort of all kinds of different things. So instead of having all those backings, you have one straight backing of these. Same size, same cardstock, same fronts. The backing is all of the same, and it does come with a box that holds all of them, which is nice, and also it does come with all of the keywords to the different cards in one piece of paper. So that's the only difference between these. So if you have all of these and you're perfectly happy with that and don't obviously need to have it in a box or to have the backings to be the same, there's nothing that's changed here. You haven't gotten any extra cards or anything like that. But if you've missed out on either the whole shebang, or you've missed out on, like, you have just the first deck, you don't have the expansion, you don't have the extra cards that were the shovel and the harp, this is, or if you've just never gotten them at all but you've been interested, this is just a way to get it in all one shebang. I purchased this. This is not an advertisement for Patrick Valenza. I just had posted some pictures, and I've gotten a lot of questions about what the differences were between the 2 of these, and so I wanted to do a quick video to show that. So I'm really excited about it. I am going to be using Mildred Payne. I have actually in my shop a reading that it's a reading I'll still continue to do, but it is this month is all going to be with the Mildred Payne, and so it's like a web reading that really focuses on the connections between things. So I'll just show you that, so then you can see the cards sort of in laid out. So with this, I would pull a card for the question or the situation and place that in the middle. So here we have blood. And then I would start to build those connections. So into sort of a spider web of connections. And this is I really love this reading. And again, this is a reading that I will be continuing to use as I go, but I'm going to go kind of keeps circling around here. And I will straighten it up a little bit. I just want to make sure that you can see it all. Like that, so you can just see it laid out like that. And so you're able to build all kinds of cool connections where, you know, with the web there's all kinds of connecting points, and the way in which they touch other spots and reach out and connect to the past, to the future, this way, that way. How did these cards connect together? How did these parts of this situation come together? It's just a really cool way of reading. Well, in my personal opinion, it's something I've enjoyed. And so this month I'm just going to be using this deck to do this particular reading, and so I'm really excited about that. But that gives you, I think, a look at least of how this looks put out. So there we have it. That is probably on record as one of the shortest videos on my channel, but it was easier to just make this video than it was to keep kind of fielding what are the differences between the first edition and the second edition. So I hope that that answers that question for any of you wondering, and I'm excited about it. It's embraced the magical for me, and yeah, have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.